back in the bedroom because the sun is shining. The sun is shining. Oh my God. It seems like it's been forever since I've actually seen the sun out. So yes, we're back in the bedroom with the bookcases. I've ordered my bookcase. It was supposed to be 7 to 10 days, so I'll probably have it sometime next week, and then I'm going to do a bookshelf tour. Can you not? Bandit knocked my tripod. Anyway, I have purchased my bookshelf, and it's going to come in sometime next week, and I'm going to do a bookshelf tour so you can see all the lovely little things that I have on my bookshelf. But that is not what today's video is about. Today's video is a book review, and that is White Stag by Cara Barbary. I don't know, I can't pronounce her last name. So, this was actually a Wattpad story before it got published. It's currently still up on the Wattpad website, and I want to do a little discussion video about that, like in a couple days, about different things and like publishing on platforms than having something professionally published and not taking down the story. It's just a certain thing that I have thoughts about, which I'm going to do a discussion for. And so, what is White Stag about? White Stag is about this girl named Janeka, and she was taken hostage by goblins. She was in the care of one goblin, and he kind of like roughed her up, and it's just not good times. And so he gives her to his nephew Soren, who is the love interest. And so yeah, it's about goblins. I picked this up because it said the word like Goblin King, and I read the synopsis like way back in November before the book even came out, and I was like, this sounds interesting. So I got it, and I thought it was gonna be like Labyrinth. It wasn't, but I still loved it. So White Stag follows the story of Janeka, who was taken hostage by goblins, like I said. This is not a spoiler, but the king of the goblins, or the Earl King is what they call him, dies. And so this hunt ensues where you have the White Stag, which is kind of like the sign of like royalty or whatever. So whoever wants to be the next Earl King's got to go on this hunt and this chase to kill the White Stag, and whoever kills the White Stag gets to be the new Goblin King. So that's kind of where the story takes off. And oh my God, I loved it. I loved it so much. You could tell that this book was influenced by Norse mythology, because it mentions like Enoken, I think, Enoken, Lindworm. Some of the things I was like, what are they talking about? I don't know what these creatures are, so I actually Googled and like had kind of like did some research, and I was like, oh, well, that's cool. I kind of figured it was related to Norse mythology, because I think at one time they mentioned Odin, and I was like, hey, that sounds familiar. I mean, come on, if you've seen any of the Thor movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and you know who Odin is. So he's kind of like king of the Norse gods. So I thought that was really interesting, and I liked the incorporation of it into it, because I don't know much about Norse mythology save for what I know from Thor, the Thor movies, and actually like reading some Norse myths. So I thought that was really cool, because I love anything to do with mythology or folklore. I took 2 or 3 mythology and folklore classes in college, and I loved them. So yeah, I really love this book. I think it's really awesome that it is a Wattpad story that got professionally published, because I write stories myself, kind of like almost every booktuber seems like likes to write. Mine's primarily fan fiction, but fan fiction has got published before. I'm aware of this. But yeah, that is the review for White Stag. I would highly recommend this. I love Janeka. I love the dynamic between her and Soren, because it's so funny, because he's a goblin and he doesn't understand sarcasm. And like towards the end he understands it, and she's like, oh my God, were you just being sarcastic? And it was great. It was a great time. I loved it. You guys should totally read it. Like I said, it is still up on Wattpad, so you can find it on Wattpad. There is a second book to this I think called The Goblin King, and you can currently read it on Wattpad. I'm choosing not to because I'd rather read a completely fleshed out, edited, copy edited version of the story, because it only has like 34 parts, and White Stag on Wattpad has 89 parts. So yeah, go read it. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!